People just got onto our boat. I heard them when we were sleeping. The police are here and they actually caught them right across the street. I cannot believe this is going on. I'm like shaking with goosebumps and I'm so glad that I heard them.
Normally in these conditions where we have about 10 knots of wind coming off the beam, or at least on a broad reach, we would have the ASIM out. However, we are so close to going underneath the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, and Annapolis is right there anyway, so it just doesn't make sense to do it. So we just have main and jib out. And we're still doing half of wind speed, which is pretty darn awesome. So a bit of a surreal moment for us. We're coming into Annapolis, kind of our stomping grounds for the last many, many years with our old sailboat. We even have, Annapolis as our hailing port for GTFO. But we haven't been here, I think, since the October 23 boat show. But in a way, it's kind of like coming home. So it's really cool to get here and grab a mooring ball on the front 40. We are back in Annapolis. Yeah, it's surreal in a way because the last time we were here was last year's boat show in October, in the fall. And
we weren't boat owners.
That's right. Now we are, and we've been 9 months. And look at these strange weirdo people coming up behind us.
Weirdos! Woo! For you.
This is why we come back to Annapolis.
Yes! Okay, we had a pig in our dinghy, and now we have 2 ducks in our dinghy here in Annapolis. Get off, ducks. Oh, they did shit in there. Look at that. Dennis is cleaning out the bird shit out of our boat. So we had 2 ducks in there, and they shit all over the bottom of the boat. Nasty. Into the travel lift here in Annapolis Yacht Basin, Anchor Yacht Basin. I always want to call it that. And it was pretty harrowing. It's quite windy. We had about 15 knots of wind. It calmed down when we came around the side, but it's a really narrow spot. And we made it.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Dennis.
Thank you, baby. There she is. Check out our boat.
You have arrived at your destination.
Clogging up traffic.
Your route guidance.
This is awesome.
So they put the paint on the wrap. So we might need a whole new wrap.
Also, when we got hauled out at Zimmerman's, you noticed that our copper coat was deteriorating because it hadn't been put on, right? So here at Yacht, they had a specialist come out and they reapplied it. So it looks pretty good. Of course, the true test is when the boat goes back in the water and see how it holds up. Something else that we've asked Yacht to do for us is where all this gel coat got banged off from where the dinghy, the outboard engine was kept banging up against it. So they're gonna fix that for us as well while we're here. Yep, they're gonna take care of this piece as well. That's where we clunked up against the pier in FKG in St. Martin. But you know, it's a boat, it's our house. We get little bumps and bruises every once in a while. If you recall from our previous video when we got hauled out at Zimmerman's, we had a couple of bubbles along the hull right here. So they've come along, cut out the marine vinyl, and then looks like they've just sanded that down. So now the next piece is just to cover that back up with the marine vinyl pieces.
Where's that water coming from?
That concerns me. Probably. Oh, I hear the bilge running. You hear the bilge running? The water was coming in that rudder post, huh? Just got onto our boat. I heard them when we were sleeping. The police are here and they actually caught them right across the street. I cannot believe this is going on. I'm like shaking with goosebumps, and I'm so glad that I heard them, and I'm so glad that they just got caught. I don't know what's gonna happen, and the great thing is we have it all caught on our camera. Okay, I gotta get off the phone because the cops are here. Okay, so there's two entrances to the marina, Anchor Yacht Basin. There's one entrance as you're facing from the road. There's one entrance on the right and another entrance on the left. We're on the left and we're the boat closest to the road, and we have a silver hull. Well, two hulls. It's a catamaran. And we have now lights on, so we're probably the only boat with lights on. I'll even put on an overhead deck light. It'll be really obnoxiously bright. Okay, thanks for staying on the line, but I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah, she says if we have any other information to let her know in terms of identity, and to let the officers know that we have audio and visual.
I don't know how all the audio comes off.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll
We've
definitely
never
have video.
actually listened to audio. We just look at what when people come on the boat. And actually, what we can do is look through old footage to see if there's any more nighttime entries, like when we haven't been here. Yeah, you could see what they're wearing. One had a hoodie, one had like a beanie cap, kind of sweatpants type clothing. Because it is nighttime, it just shows up as shades of gray. She wants to know if we can see an officer. Okay. I did turn that light on, but why does it not seem bright?
Oh, there's a bunch of boys across the street there. I just saw a bunch where that car just braked.
When the car just braked, we just saw some
This way.
boys across the street.
Up there where that car turned.
Oh.
I saw like 3 boys.
Right across the street, where there's a 25-mile-an-hour sign.
Somebody's picking them up.
Oh, and someone's picking them up. Oh, go down and go down and film. Oh, I hope they go this way. I'm holding this.
There's another car showing up over there.
Now another car is showing up over there. What? Oh gosh, that's not my thing. Dennis, what kind of vehicles do you think they are? Like SUVs? Not very big? Oh yeah, it is them. It's totally them. Yes. Okay, Dennis is running down. Dennis, just run down. No, I can't see what color because it's dark, the way they're in the light, under the spotlight.
There's definitely two cars in an SUV.
But there's two cars in an SUV.
One is an SUV.
My husband's gonna walk down there with the fence, so it's totally...
Seems we had 4 teenage boys decide to get on our car this morning, or boat this evening at 1 a.m., 1:19 to be exact. So Anne's on the phone with the police. And then saw these 2 cars pull up over here. Yep, that's the police right there. Yep. Oh, here we go. It's getting crazy.
Cars coming. I don't know if that was me picking them up, but it just came up to you guys. That would be odd.
So the police officer came over, looked, asked us to describe what happened. We showed him the video footage. He made a comment about calling the parents because he's familiar with one of the kids. And now you can see like 2 civilian-looking cars that have shown up. And so they're over there just doing their thing. Our first night back on the boat at Still on the Hard, and at like 1:19 in the morning, it's like, get the F up, there's somebody on the boat. I'm like, out cold, but yeah, so I kind of started walking forwards. I could hear the commotion. I was like, hey, 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 started yelling, and you could hear rats scurrying. I caught an image of one kid trying to get off the boat as quick as possible, and then when we looked at the camera footage that we downloaded, you can see like there's 4 boys, teenagers, that were on the boat, had moved a speaker and a bottle of liquor around, but with my hey, that disrupted them. They ran away, came up here, looked around real quick, and then called the cops, and then now we're just waiting on them to come back. Exciting.
So you were saying you lived?
Yeah, we lived right down here for the last 5 years. Never locked our doors, our cars, nothing. Never had any problems. We had one guy who brought, our neighbor who brought a drunk guy home from the bar once, tried to steal his golf cart, but that was his own fault. So I don't know. I actually had this pile of junk in my trailer over there that I'm still trying to get rid of, and I was like, hoping somebody might just steal it so I could just claim it on insurance.
That's a great answer.
Hilarious.
But nobody did. So I gotta get rid of it.
Hey, honey, let's go look at the trailer later.
Yes.
Should we go see what's in the trailer? There's a lot of winter stuff I didn't get rid of. Just like skis and snowboards. And,
I should ask my kids.
well, my buddy's moving to. He's gonna go be the next Coast Guard attaché in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
And so I'm sending in a bunch with him so that when we're sailing, I can hop over to Japan and then
That's
we can
cool.
go snowboarding together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
After our incident last night of the 4 boys coming aboard our boat, just had a visit from one of the boys who was driven here by his father, who obviously was very upset about his son's behavior. And in part of the verbal apology, the boy also made a written apology. Hello, I'm sorry that my friends went on your boat. I have no clue why they wanted to hop on a boat. I was extremely something, and I know that it isn't an excuse, and I know I should find better friends, and I will. I'm sorry for trespassing, and I apologize for my friends not thinking straight and being stupid. I am sorry, sir. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was very, I think, apologetic when he made a verbal apology to me. So it's nice. It's nice to see that there's, parents out there that are willing to hold their kids accountable.
Yeah.
Nice.
Every so often, you need to just saw a lock off. This lock is rusting, and it's been dripping in our boat. I just cleaned out the rust marks, so Dennis is going to saw it off and replace it with another one.
Tough angle because it has the
I know.
line right here.
it's so rusted.
Oh, there you go. Do you need some rust spray? That might help.
Just fell off.
You know that's on camera.
I'm picking my nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It work? So I'm salvaging the webbing from our original straps, tie-down straps we used to secure our dinghy. And this is why you need to get 316 anything you buy to be on a boat. Because look at this, the rust is just insane. But the webbing is great, so that's why I'm just cutting it off the hardware and I'm gonna wash it so I get all the rust off and get rid of all this junk.
What you working on, Hottie?
I am redoing our gear hammock. We overloaded it with every single piece of equipment we had, and now Dennis hits his head when he goes under it, and it looks like crap. I was just gonna clean it. This is from all that fog we hit in Canada and Maine. It caused a lot of mold, and I realized rather than cleaning it, I was just gonna redo it. And so I bought a new piece of, he said it's better than this, Vipertex. It's gonna be more sturdy. Made it a little bit bigger, and I just put the corners, each corner, I doubled over this 1.25 inches for my seam allowance, and then I took a piece of webbing and put it on here, and that'll be the corners that this connects onto. And then another issue we had with this, you can see this piece just got all stretched out. This used to come together. It just wasn't a very sturdy piece of plastic. So I got a more sturdy piece of plastic right here. And you can see it's just like so tight. And then I just put a single knot in here, cut out a piece of webbing, and then after I sew, which I'll sew along this seam and this seam, I will just tie this onto here, and then it'll go up here. I'll clean before I put the new hammock up, because you can see what all the mold did right here. It's just moisture, and then our boat's been sitting here in the yard for over a month, so it's just filthy.
Boo.
Yeah, but no more hitting heads on this hammock.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're tall people.
That's right. So I got a haircut.
What I do is take electrical tape and put it at the point where I want to cut, and then cut. And then just to make sure, and this is my favorite part of the project because I like any excuse to play with fire, and I love this little butane lighter we have because it's kind of breezy here, and I just take it, and you can barely see the flame. Well, there you can see it, just to melt it on there. Look at that. No burning fingers.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Great. Now it sounds funny. Yep, I lost my thread. Did you hear that thump?
Oh.
The thread is working.
Here's the finished product of what Anne sewed and fixed to replace our initial original gear hammock. Over the past year, it had pretty much gotten stretched out with all the gear in here. So we had some extra material, sewed a completely brand new one, had the clips, put those into place, and most importantly, I don't hit my head anymore. Yay. We're back on the boat doing projects before we splash as we have some time. One of our projects is with our helm fridge cooler, which I think hands down on top of the Versa helm is probably one of the best features on the boat, because you really do get a lot more refrigeration space down in here. And then you can see there's a little drain out there, so when it defrosts. we found these awesome trays, bins, in Cape Town at Mambo's to put all of our liquids, because it's basically a beer fridge. But it wasn't always cold enough, and we have the weather trimming right here, the insulation around here, but even then still it doesn't do that much. But I don't remember, it was a video we made a long time ago when we had Cloud Chaser. It didn't have any refrigeration, it just had an ice box. So we took Reflectix, lined the entire inners of the ice box with that, and it got us at least another 2-3 days out of a big chunks of ice that we would put in there, whereas before we would get maybe at best a weekend out of it, 2-3 days. Now we were getting like 5-6 days. So we wanted to add some Reflectix in here just to kind of help retain some of that coldness, and then also hopefully cut down on some of the energy consumption when we keep this fridge running. So that's a project. It's a simple one, but you know, gotta have like stretch arms to be able to get in there.
Doing out here?
Grooming, manscaping.
I don't have the camera that low. What was that?
Manscaping.
Oh. Okay. So you have what number on there?
A 4.
Uh-oh. And you're thinking of fluff your hair up. You know there's not that much up there.
I know.
And I love bald men, so you're good.
Like it.
Whoa!
Look at that.
Your mom is gonna freak and she's gonna blame me. Oh my God, Dennis, it's so different.
What this really brings out is the flatness of the back of my head. I was neglected as a child. I was left in the crib too long. Love you, Mom. The look on your face, you're like, what the f?
It's cute though, I like it.
It's cute.
He
I
looks
like
so
the
cute.
dog. That's so cute.
Ha!